Hey everyone, it's Prashant here. Welcome to my YouTube channel and thank you for joining me in today's video. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you about the step-by-step process of buying a home. For the purpose of today's video, I'm going to assume that you're a home buyer who requires a mortgage. Please remember that I'm not a real estate professional, so everything that I'm talking about in this video comes from my own research and my own experience buying a home. That being said, let's dive in. Step 1, the down payment. The first thing that you're going to want to think about when buying a home is how you're going to come up with the down payment. The down payment is a certain amount of money that you have to bring to the deal before you can go and get a loan for the remainder of the amount from a bank or a mortgage lender. Saving up for a down payment is often the most difficult step for first-time home buyers. There are minimum requirements for down payments to get a mortgage, ranging from as low as 0% for VA loans that are available to veterans all the way up to 20%. Now, it is not necessary that you will have to have 20% saved up for a down payment. In fact, that is a common misconception. You might be able to qualify for a loan with as little as 10% down payment or even lower, down to 5 or even 3% in certain circumstances. However, if you put down less than 20% as a down payment and it's not a VA loan, you will have to buy what is called as PMI or private mortgage insurance. This is in fact insurance that you buy on the behalf of your lender or the bank to make sure that their money is secure in case you cannot pay back your loan. Step 2, pre-approval and lender selection. This, in my opinion, is one of the most important steps when it comes to the home buying process. This involves going to a lender at a bank or otherwise and getting what is called as a pre-approval. To get this, you will have to give them some basic details about your financial picture. This includes giving them details so they can form a basic picture of your financial landscape, including your income from all sources, all of your liabilities such as a car payment or a credit card payment, and any other obligations. It is not necessary to give your social security number to a lender to do this. In fact, a good lender should be able to just take the information that you give, accept that as the truth, and be able to give you a pre-approval letter for a certain amount. A pre-approval letter is a very simple document showing how much money the bank or the lender is willing to give to you. And this is why this is such an important step. After you're done with this step, you know exactly how much money you're working for. In fact, I would recommend that you wait till you're done with this till you start your home search seriously. In fact, a common mistake that first-time home buyers do is start looking at houses before getting a pre-approval letter. You should not do this because you don't want to fall in love with a house that you cannot afford. Now, the pre-approval letter is also a very important document to submit along with your offer when you find a house that you actually want to buy. In fact, most sellers would not consider your offer if it does not come with a pre-approval letter, and rightfully so. If a seller decides to go with your offer and then your funds fall through, now they're in a bad jam where they have to go back and do the entire process of selling again. So it really helps both parties if you have your pre-approval letter in place and ready to go. In addition to getting a pre-approval, this is also the time for lender selection. In my experience and opinion, it is better to work with a non-bank lender. These lenders will have access to mortgages offered by many different banks at the same time, whereas a bank lender will only be able to offer you the mortgage that their own bank is offering. On top of this, these lenders will be able to work with you outside of banking hours and especially on weekends, and you will soon find out that this is very, very important when it comes to buying a house, especially in competitive markets like the one we have today. My best advice as to how to find a lender is to just Google them, read reviews about them, and ask your friends and coworkers for their lenders. After this, if you want, you can go ahead and meet some lenders personally and interview them. And you should probably only work with a lender that you feel completely comfortable working with. After all, this is a person that you'll be sharing a lot of sensitive personal finance information with, and you want to be completely sure that you're comfortable working with this person. The good news is that you are not locked in to use a particular lender at this stage. It is a good idea to get a pre-approval letter for at least one lender, but also keep in touch with one or two other lenders, so when the time comes, you can finally choose at a later stage which lender you want to go with when it actually comes to closing the loan. Guys, before we continue with this video, I want to take a second to please ask you to hit that like button and that subscribe button for the YouTube algorithm. This helps me out a lot and motivates me to keep making these videos. That being said, let's get back to our video. Step 3, open houses and real estate apps. This is the fun part. I'm sure you would have seen signs when driving or walking around in your neighborhood that say open house. This is the time to go in. I recommend people go into as many open houses in their price range and in their area as they possibly can. This gives you a nice idea of what's available in your neighborhood or in other neighborhoods that you like within your price range. This helps you decide what are the features that you're looking for in your eventual home, and also be able to decide what are your must-haves and what are your nice-to-haves. For example, do you like hardwood or carpet? Do you need to have a washer dryer in your unit? Or are you okay with having one in the basement of the building that you buy a condo in? Do you like to have a gas stove or an electric conduction cooktop? Make a list of all the features that you like, of all the neighborhoods that you like, and anything else that you have learned that you think will be helpful when searching for your own home. Trust me, this open house phase will be really beneficial. One tool that I absolutely love during this phase is real estate apps like Zillow and Redfin. These are very easy to use free apps for your phone and on the computer where you can make accounts and even link them to another account like a spouse's so you can both see which houses you like together. After that, you can set filters in these apps so that it shows you exactly what kind of house it is that you're looking for. Step 4, agent selection. You need an agent. I'll say it again, you need an agent. A good real estate agent is worth their weight in gold. Real estate agents typically work in a small geographical area, for example, a few suburbs or maybe even a few neighborhoods within a city. It is their job to know the real estate market within their area like the back of their hand. They keep up on active listings, upcoming listings, recent sales, comps, and a lot of other things. Real estate agents are really important in guiding you throughout the home buying process, and they can even point you in the direction of lenders, attorneys, inspectors, handymen, and a few other professionals that can be useful when you're trying to buy your first home. And the best part is that the services of a real estate agent are free to the buyer. That's right, real estate agents work on commissions, but these commissions are paid by the seller. So as a buyer, real estate agents are completely free for you to use, and you should definitely get one. Just like with a lender, I would say that you should probably ask your friends and coworkers about their real estate agents, maybe meet them, Google them, read reviews about them, and once you've found one that you feel comfortable with, go ahead and start working with them. Step 5, serious home search. Okay, time to get serious. Now that you've found your agent, it is now time to give them the list that you created during the open house phase so that they know exactly what kind of house you're looking for. Most real estate agents will take your list and create a custom search with an email push. This means that as soon as a new listing comes up on the MLS that matches your criteria, you will get an email with some information about the house and some pictures. This is where you come in. It is your job to go through these listings as soon as you possibly can after they pop up and tell your agent if there is a house that you're interested in. This is especially true in a very competitive market such as the one we have today, where houses are getting sold very quickly after they're listed. Once you tell your agent that you're interested in a particular house, they will set up a showing for you, either through an open house if there's already one set up and it works for your schedule, or they might be able to set up a private showing for you. Don't worry if you don't like the first, second, fifth, or even 10th house that you go into. When I bought my condo in Chicago, I probably went into 20 places before I finally found one that I liked. It's just a part of the process and you need to lean into it. Step 6, making an offer. Okay, you made it this far. You find a house that you finally like and you're ready to make an offer. You should let your real estate guide you thoroughly throughout this process. They will be able to give you data on similar houses that have sold recently around you to get an idea of what the comparable prices or comps are. If you think that the house is overpriced, you might want to go below listing price and see if the seller will agree to your offer. If, however, you're in a hot market, such as the one we're seeing nationwide right now, you might want to go at or even above list price. Talk to your agent, get their advice, make your offer, and see what the seller says. If they accept, then great. If they don't, you have a choice. You can make another offer or you can just move on. Don't worry though, there are plenty of other houses out there for you. Step 6.1, getting an attorney. At this point in the home buying process, you might need an attorney. In certain states like Illinois, you might be required to have an attorney during this real estate transaction. This attorney's job is to look out for you. They're going to be reading your contract and make sure there is nothing in the contract that can harm you. Make sure you get a real estate attorney who routinely helps their clients with real estate transactions. Again, ask your friends and co-workers or even your real estate agent for some recommendations and interview a couple attorneys and find one you're comfortable working with. Attorneys set their own rates and prices, and it is common to pay about $400 to $700 for a real estate transaction in the Chicagoland area. Step 7. Earnest money and home inspection. Once your offer gets accepted, you're officially under contract. Things are going to kick into real high gear now. You need to deposit an earnest money and order a home inspection. Earnest money is a small amount, maybe $1,000, that you deposit with an escrow company to show good faith to the seller. If you decide to go ahead with the deal later, this earnest money will become part of your down payment. If you decide to cancel the deal, under certain conditions, the earnest money can be returned to you, and under other conditions, the earnest money will be kept by the seller. Now it's time to find a home inspector and order an inspection. If you don't have an inspector already, your real estate agent probably has a few contacts that they can give you so that you can reach out to them directly. Again, you can always ask your friends and coworkers if they know any home inspectors that they've utilized in the past and use them as well. Make sure you shop around with a few inspectors and ask them what their fees are, and make sure that they are licensed in the state that you're buying your property in. For a basic home inspection, you can expect to pay anywhere between $200 to $500, at least in the Chicagoland area. A basic inspection covers the roof, the electrical system, the plumbing system, the HVAC system, the flooring, the doors and windows, among a few other things. After the home inspection is complete, the home inspector will give you a report and basically check off a bunch of things which are good, bad, or need repairs in the house. Now, it is pretty common for a home inspector to find small things such as dead outlets in the house, but this is nothing to worry about. Every once in a while, a home inspection will find a bigger problem in the house, such as a leak in the roof or a mold problem in one of the bathrooms. As a side note, in today's extremely competitive market, a lot of buyers are waiving the right to inspection, and this is certainly a tactic that you can take if you're very aggressive and feel really good about a house. But it's something that you should really consider carefully, because then you don't have the option to back out of the deal because of something that you found in the inspection period. Step 8. Revised offer. Now that you've done the home inspection, you know the flaws within the house. Let's say you found a leaky faucet in one of the bathrooms and 3 dead outlets spread around the house. Now you have a few choices here. You can either proceed with the deal at the price that you originally offered. You can ask the seller to do repairs on the things that your inspection report found. You can ask the seller for a credit in lieu of performing those repairs, or you can cancel the deal. For small things such as a dead outlet or a leaky faucet, maybe you don't want to cancel the deal, but if it's a bigger issue such as a hole in the roof that you don't want to deal with, maybe this is an option that you can consider. Let's say you send in a revised offer. Let's say you send in a $2,000 credit for all the repairs that need to be done in the house. Again, you have to wait to see if the seller agrees to your terms, and if they do, you can move on to the next major step. Step 9. It's time to get a mortgage. Getting a mortgage can be a very stressful experience, especially the first time you do it. Lucky for you, thousands of people get mortgages successfully every day, and you can too. It is now time to go back and talk to the lenders that you were previously in touch with and apply to get a mortgage. They will ask you a lot of questions and will ask for a lot of paperwork. At this time, you will have to provide proof of employment, proof of income, proof of liabilities, as well as give them your social security number so they can run a hard credit inquiry on your credit report. At this time, you can go ahead and run a credit check with multiple lenders at the same time to see who can give you the best offer. Even though multiple lenders will run a hard inquiry on your credit bureaus will not ding your credit score multiple times. Credit bureaus know that it is common for people to shop around for mortgages, and they treat all the inquiries that come within a certain time frame close together as a single credit check. There are a lot of different types of mortgages out there, including fixed rate mortgages such as the 15, 20, and 30-year mortgages, as well as adjustable rate mortgages such as the 5/1 ARM and the 7/1 ARM. There are also many different down payment options, from all the way up to 20% to 10% and all the way down to 0%, as well as PMI options, and there might even be some government grants to help you with the down payment. I'm not going to go into detail about mortgages, but your lender should definitely be able to talk to you about the different options you have and work with you to get the option that works best for you. Once you've chosen your lender and your mortgage type, it is now time to get all the paperwork in motion. Like I said before, the lender will ask for a lot of documentation, including W-2s, pay stubs, 1099s, and a bunch of other stuff. Make sure you get this stuff to them promptly. Lenders are notorious for asking for extra documentation, and if this happens a few days before your closing date, it's going to cause a lot of undue stress. So make sure you work with them to get them everything that they need. If they ask for something a couple days before the closing date, get it to them as soon as you can so that you can still close on the pre-decided date. Trust me, it can create a lot of issues. I know from personal experience. A few days before closing, you will need to send your down payment money to a title company to hold in escrow. What this means is that the title company holds on to your money temporarily to assure the seller that you're good for the money. You will need to send this money in the form of a cashier's check or a wire transfer. Make sure you double and triple check the transfer instructions to make sure that you're sending the money to the correct bank account before you send it. Step 10, closing day. On closing day, or maybe even a day before that, you will get to do one final walkthrough of the house. At this time, the seller should have moved everything out of the house and you should be looking at an empty place. Make sure you get a good look and make sure that everything that you thought was going to be there is going to be there. Make sure the seller hasn't removed an appliance that they promised would be sold to you. After your final walkthrough, it is now time to head to the title company's office. Your real estate agent, your lender, and your attorney, if you have one, should be there. In addition, you can bring your family member or a friend to closing day. Now you will sign a bunch of documents that legally transfer the ownership of the house to you. It is a lot of legalese and you should make sure you understand completely everything that you're signing. Step 11, welcome to your new home. After you sign all the documents, you will get a copy of everything and the keys to your new home. It's time to head over and enjoy your new place. So that's all I have for you guys in today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you liked and enjoyed this video and that this video helped you understand the home buying process a little bit better. I know from personal experience that the home buying process can be very stressful and anxiety inducing, especially for first-time home buyers. And I hope watching this video helps explain the process a little bit more and thus reduce your stress levels when it comes to buying your home. If you like this video, please go ahead and hit that like button and that subscribe button for the YouTube algorithm. And go ahead and hit the bell icon to be notified instantly when I post a new video. I post at least one new video every week with great new financial content, and I would love to see you back here. Also, go ahead and follow me on Instagram and Twitter. I will leave the handles down in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.